Hello, it is Lisco West here today to show you this drop ride I made in Minecraft. Sorry, this is getting in the way. Okay, so this is a world I made. Let me turn down the render distance. It's making it a little bit slower. Okay, so this is a world I made for roller coasters and stuff. This one I started making. I haven't really got around to finishing it because it's so big, but it uses 6 minecarts as a train. And here's my drop ride that you can make too. Or if you want, I can just send you like the world or the schematic or whatever, but I'm not going to do that unless you request it. So if you want it, then ask. So let me demonstrate for you how it works. Let's take a little ride. Ooh, we're going up. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. It's gonna drop. Ah, I'm falling. Back home. Okay, that looks really simple and really not very exciting when you're writing it, but it's really cool just because I wanted to try to make it and it actually worked, and it's pretty complicated. So I'm going to show you how it works. But before I do that, I am going to show you what it looks like at night, because that's actually another thing that you can't really see when you're off ride. So here it is, and let's watch it just go by itself. Bum, 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 ding. Yep, there's like lights that climb up the top of the tower, to the top of the tower. And then when they get to the top, that's when it drops. So if you're watching from off-ride, you can see when it's about to drop, but you can't see the lights from when you're on it, so it's sort of more of a surprise. Okay, let me demonstrate how this works. So if you want to build this for yourself, you'll need Railcraft and also red power. I mean, I guess you don't really need red power, but yeah, you pretty much do. It's impossible really to make it without it. That would be really hard. So let's dive into the inner workings. Well, actually, no, let me just give you an overview of how it works, and then I'll show you the actual wiring itself. So when you press this button, it, turns on this track. Like that. And this track, it gets powered. I mean, it is powered, so it'll launch you over there. What this detector rail does, it turns off this power. So when you come back to the station, it won't just go again. Because see, this is a toggle button. So when you press it once, it turns off. When you press it another time, it turns on. So what that detector rail does, it disables it. So let's press it. There we go. So when you come back to the station, it'll be off, so you won't go again. Then you get pushed onto this elevator track, which is from Railcraft. Oh, and see, because I pressed the detector rail, it sort of started the cycle of the ride. Then you drop, and then you come back here, and I'm trying to remember, what does this do? Oh yeah, it turns off the elevator track, because when you go over this detector rail, or I can't remember, it's either when you push the button or when you press the detector rail. I think it's when you press the detector rail. When you go over the detector rail, it turns on this elevator track, which allows you to go up. This turns it off again. I guess there isn't really a point to having it turn on and off, but the reason why I did that is so these climbing lights have a point to set off from. So also when you go over the detector rails, it launches this operation, which I call Operation Climbing Lights. And the climbing lights are pretty easy. They just get powered, they go over a repeater, they get powered, so they're all timed. And once they get to the top, it activates this repeater, which has a delay, which when the delay is over, then it'll power this rail, which allows you to drop. The sound module is completely different. It's just on the same time So they'll go about the same time or a little bit before, a little bit after. I'm not exactly sure. So, yeah. So, let me show you exactly how I did some of this stuff, like the toggle button. How did that work? Well, it's a real mess under here. Turn it to day. Okay. Didn't really help very much. Okay, so the buttons are right here. So when a button gets pressed, they all go to the same place. They all go to this toggle switch. So when this toggle switch is powered, then it toggles one way, which is powered. This is the track, so it powers the track. And when it's powered again, it unpowers it. So pretty much, it's just sort of an on and off thing. And also, you may notice that the detector rail, which is right here, it leads into the same place that the button does. So it pretty much does the same thing as a button. I put this repeater there, though, so when the buttons get powered, it won't come back and then start powering everything. Okay, I'll talk about that later. So, this is where the detector rail is. Oh, gosh. Don't know why that's there. And when it's powered, it'll have another toggle. And this toggle is a toggle of ride mode on, which is like, ride mode on is when this elevator track that lifts you up is on, and also Operation Climbing Lights starts. This is a pulse limiter just so Operation Climbing Lights won't like only one light should be on at a time instead of like everything on. So let me show you. See, when I turn this on, it'll power it all, but this won't stay powered. It'll just flash. See how it just sent one signal? Yeah. So let me turn it off. And Operation Ride On gets toggled off when you ride over this. So it's pretty simple. There's just the launch part of it, and then there's the Operation Ride On, which turns on Operation Climbing Lights, and then you fall, and throughout the system, the other things are toggled off, like Operation Ride On gets toggled off here. Operation Climbing Lights just turns itself off once it gets to the top, and the launch operation, you could say, because I'm using the word operation so much, gets turned off right here. So, yeah, I don't know if that really helps if you want to make one, but it's pretty interesting nevertheless. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.